Dominic Sinclair had it all. A thriving empire, a perfect family, unshakable trust. But behind glittering chandeliers and warm smiles hid an unthinkable betrayal, crafted by those he loved most. This is the shocking true story of deception, resilience, and how one man's fight for justice transformed betrayal into an extraordinary legacy. Dominic Sinclair stood at the grand entrance of the illustrious Astoria Hotel ballroom, its crystal chandeliers casting golden reflections upon marble floors polished to mirror perfection. Soft, melodic strains from a string quartet wove gently through the atmosphere, intertwining with the murmured greetings and occasional laughter of elegantly attired guests. At 52, Dominic projected the quiet authority and dignified presence of a man who had risen methodically from modest beginnings to a position of considerable wealth and influence. Dressed impeccably in a bespoke navy tuxedo tailored to his tall, athletic build, Dominic warmly greeted each arriving guest. Firm handshakes and cordial nods confirmed long-standing relationships that extended beyond mere business transactions into realms of mutual respect and camaraderie. Among the stream of guests were powerful figures from Boston's elite circles. Influential judges, prominent politicians, and distinguished real estate moguls. Each greeting reaffirmed Dominic's carefully cultivated social and business network, reinforcing his stature in the city's highest echelons. His largest tenant, Jonathan Kim, accompanied by his wife Clara, approached Dominic, their interactions effortlessly polished through years of shared business successes. Dominic graciously acknowledged Jonathan's recent praise for his latest ambitious real estate venture into the technology corridor. Though Jonathan subtly hinted at some reservations reportedly voiced by Dominic's brother, Vincent Lockhart, Dominic remained composed. Vincent's cautious approach as the firm's lead counsel had long complemented Dominic's bold entrepreneurial strategies, creating a formidable business duo. Dominic's daughter, Amelia Harrington, joined him briefly, the vibrant reflection of her mother Olivia. At 24, Amelia's refined appearance and poised demeanor hinted at sophistication nurtured by affluence and privilege. Her designer gown subtly underscored the lifestyle Dominic had strived tirelessly to provide, contrasting starkly with his modest upbringing. Yet, beneath Amelia's polished exterior lay an unsettling undercurrent, something Dominic could sense but not clearly identify. Her interactions appeared subtly distant, each word accompanied by a slight air of impatience and restlessness that troubled him. Her twin brother, Liam Harrington, approached shortly thereafter, mirroring Dominic in height and bearing. Liam's innate talent with numbers had secured him an influential role overseeing regional developments within Dominic's enterprise. Despite his youth, Dominic trusted Liam implicitly, perceiving him as capable and astute, traits he proudly attributed to his parenting. Yet Liam's casual mention of minor complications smoothed over by Vincent during a recent corporate acquisition stirred an unexpected discomfort within Dominic, fleeting yet unmistakable. Across the expansive room, Olivia Harrington captured Dominic's gaze effortlessly. Her timeless beauty radiated elegance, accentuated by a sophisticated burgundy gown that highlighted her graceful figure. Her youthful appearance belied the quarter-century they had shared, through trials that had tested their resolve. Years marked by hopeful anticipation and eventual joy when fertility treatments finally blessed them with their twins. Olivia's smile, a beacon of strength during their most challenging moments, still held the power to reassure him. Yet, tonight Dominic sensed something imperceptibly altered, a shadow within the familiar radiance. Beside Olivia stood Vincent Lockhart, Dominic's younger brother, exuding an urbane charm perfected through a lifetime of social finesse. Where Dominic was straightforward and practical, Vincent navigated social waters effortlessly, seamlessly blending charisma with professional acumen. Their partnership had defined Sinclair Enterprises' ascendancy, Dominic providing decisive leadership while Vincent managed legal intricacies. Yet, as Dominic discreetly observed their subtle interactions, an unspoken unease crept through him, though he swiftly dismissed it as unfounded suspicion. Dinner commenced with impeccable orchestration, guests seated at elaborately adorned tables, each meticulously arranged to celebrate Dominic and Olivia's 25 years together. Courses arrived gracefully, accompanied by heartfelt toasts from esteemed guests celebrating the couple's resilience and accomplishments. Yet, amidst these accolades, Dominic's acute perception caught fleeting moments. A subtle exchange of glances, Vincent's seemingly innocent gestures toward Olivia, and the twins' quiet, knowing smiles that unsettled him profoundly. A distinct unease settled in Dominic's heart, a stark contrast to the outwardly joyful celebration unfolding around him. The air in the ballroom, warm and inviting, felt inexplicably charged with underlying tension, each laugh and smile subtly tainted by doubt and apprehension. He discreetly observed his family, his senses heightened, each subtle gesture magnified into significance. Despite outward appearances of unity and celebration, Dominic felt increasingly isolated, ensnared in suspicions he struggled to rationalize. As the elegant evening progressed, Dominic maintained a composed facade, carefully concealing his growing turmoil behind measured smiles and practiced cordiality. He knew appearances were crucial. Tonight was not only about commemorating a milestone but affirming Sinclair Enterprises' unshakable presence within Boston's elite. Yet, beneath his composed demeanor, Dominic grappled privately with unsettling questions about loyalty, trust, and truth. The chandeliers above continued their gentle shimmering, oblivious to the shifting currents beneath. Dominic Sinclair stood amidst the grandeur, outwardly the embodiment of success and stability, inwardly preparing himself to uncover truths he instinctively feared yet knew he could no longer ignore. Dominic Sinclair discreetly navigated toward a quieter corner of the lavish ballroom, his pulse quickening as subtle but troubling exchanges between his family members lingered in his thoughts. Carefully positioned behind an ornate floral arrangement, Dominic overheard snippets of a conversation that shattered the carefully constructed reality of his life. The whispered tones, edged with derision and arrogance, revealed an unimaginable betrayal. Olivia Harrington, his devoted wife of 25 years, spoke casually of the elaborate deception surrounding their supposedly difficult fertility treatments that Dominic had emotionally and financially supported with unwavering commitment. The revelation struck Dominic with visceral intensity. Amelia and Liam, the twins he adored, were not his biological children but Vincent Lockhart's, his own brother. Olivia's tone dripped with cold mockery as she recounted how easily Dominic had been fooled, blinded by his earnest desire for a family. Vincent's smug laughter underscored the devastating deceit, amplifying Dominic's profound sense of humiliation and betrayal. The twins joined in, laughing quietly, fully aware of their parentage and complicit in the deception. The conversation grew darker, unveiling deeper layers of betrayal. Vincent had meticulously planned to dismantle Sinclair Enterprises from within, leveraging Olivia's access to sensitive company information and manipulating Liam's position to falsify financial data. Dominic's son had willingly participated, doctoring projections to undermine investor confidence, while Amelia strategically leaked proprietary information to rival firms. Each revelation felt like a physical blow, yet Dominic maintained an outward composure, refusing to allow emotion to cloud his judgment. As the conspirators celebrated their cunning, Dominic retreated silently, his steps measured and controlled. Ascending to his private suite, secluded 6 floors above the ballroom, Dominic began meticulously examining the evidence he had previously dismissed as minor anomalies. Financial irregularities flagged months earlier by Evelyn Park, his CFO, now revealed deliberate acts of sabotage. Consulting fees paid to unknown offshore entities, falsified medical documentation from fertility clinics, and altered projections painted a stark portrait of betrayal carefully woven through years of trust. Dominic's internal turmoil gradually gave way to a cold, calculating clarity. He summoned Evelyn, whose quiet diligence had initially alerted him to discrepancies he'd naively ignored. Upon her arrival, Dominic shared his findings, observing her immediate shock transition to resolute determination. Together, they assessed the full extent of Vincent's schemes, Olivia's complicity, and the twins' betrayal. To solidify his response, Dominic contacted Carter Donovan, a trusted former FBI agent known for his impeccable investigative skills. Donovan quickly confirmed that Vincent Lockhart had a disturbing history. Multiple corporate collapses across the country bore his covert signature. Victims rarely pursued justice, paralyzed by embarrassment and fear of public humiliation. Dominic resolved that his case would differ, determined to expose Vincent's sinister operations to the world. A final, crucial revelation came from Dr. Sofia Torres, who confirmed through genetic testing the undeniable truth. Vincent was the biological father of Amelia and Liam. Torres provided damning evidence that medical records supposedly documenting Dominic and Olivia's fertility struggles had been meticulously forged. Armed with incontrovertible proof, Dominic, Evelyn, and Donovan crafted a precise and ruthless counterstrike. Dominic's earlier naivete had evaporated, replaced by an unwavering resolve. He would meticulously dismantle each layer of the conspiracy with surgical precision, leaving no avenue of escape for those who had deceived him. As Dominic prepared to return to the party, his demeanor reflected a man reborn, clear-eyed and fiercely focused. He descended back into the ballroom with calculated composure, ready to maintain appearances while secretly orchestrating his next moves. Each step he took toward the gathering carried silent conviction. Dominic Sinclair was no longer the trusting patriarch blinded by familial bonds. He had become an avenger determined to reclaim his dignity and protect his legacy from those who sought its destruction. Dominic Sinclair returned to the ballroom, each carefully measured step masking the tempest of calculated intent beneath his calm facade. The festive atmosphere, filled with laughter and glittering lights, now appeared starkly superficial, a veneer covering the profound betrayal that lay beneath. Dominic skillfully maneuvered through the crowd, exchanging pleasantries with practiced ease, his outward demeanor impeccably cordial despite the turmoil simmering within. Over the following days, Dominic engaged in a series of discreet yet decisive actions designed to dismantle Vincent Lockhart's meticulously orchestrated conspiracy. Evelyn Park quietly but effectively froze critical company assets, redirecting funds into secure accounts safeguarded against external interference. Financial trails meticulously laid by Evelyn were intended to appear as routine diversification, thus concealing Dominic's countermeasures beneath layers of plausible deniability. Simultaneously, Carter Donovan employed his formidable investigative expertise to surveil Vincent, Olivia, and the twins closely. Carter's seasoned team gathered irrefutable evidence, emails, encrypted text messages, covert recordings, that revealed an extensive network of fraudulent activities engineered by Vincent. Each document captured the conspirators' increasingly reckless confidence, clearly illustrating their assumption of Dominic's ignorance. Dominic Sinclair's strategic counteroffensive extended beyond mere financial safeguards. He methodically reached out to victims previously targeted by Vincent, discreetly gathering testimonials and detailed accounts of their painful experiences. These victims, previously silenced by shame and fear, found new courage in Dominic's determined pursuit of justice. Their collective testimonies provided a powerful narrative that painted Vincent as a serial corporate predator whose tactics had repeatedly devastated families and enterprises alike. Further deepening his strategic position, Dominic utilized information provided by Dr. Sofia Torres to reinforce his case legally. The forged medical documents, along with genetic proof of Vincent's paternity, added layers of indisputable evidence to the growing dossier. Dominic meticulously documented every detail, ensuring no aspect of the deception remained unaccounted for. Dominic's meticulous preparations culminated in a carefully choreographed strategy session with Evelyn and Carter, held secretly in a secure conference room within Sinclair Enterprises. Together, they reviewed every aspect of their evidence, refining their approach with precision. Dominic's approach was clinical, void of emotional bias, determined solely by the principles of justice and integrity. Throughout these critical days, Dominic maintained an impeccable facade at home. He continued interacting with Olivia, Amelia, and Liam with a warmth and familiarity that masked his true intentions. Each family dinner, each conversation, was a carefully staged performance designed to lull them into a false sense of security. He noted their growing arrogance, interpreting his apparent ignorance as weakness, a misjudgment Dominic intended to exploit. Dominic Sinclair, transformed from a trusting husband and father into an astute strategist, patiently awaited the optimal moment to unleash his carefully structured plan. His actions were neither impulsive nor driven by rage but calculated with the precision of a master tactician. Dominic understood that justice, to be truly effective, required meticulous preparation, patience, and flawless execution. As the pieces of Dominic's plan settled into place, the conspirators remained oblivious, blinded by their arrogance and false confidence. Dominic watched, carefully calculating every move, fully aware of the devastating impact his revelation would soon deliver. For Dominic Sinclair, this was no longer merely about reclaiming lost dignity. It was about dismantling deception, restoring justice, and protecting the integrity of everything he had painstakingly built. The Monday morning sun rose over Boston, casting long golden streaks of light across the towering skyline. Dominic Sinclair observed the city from his private home office, calm and resolute as he initiated the final phase of his carefully orchestrated response. At precisely 7 a.m., Evelyn Park enacted the decisive financial protocols they had meticulously planned. Sinclair Enterprises' critical systems locked down securely, ensuring that Vincent and his co-conspirators would be powerless to manipulate or sabotage further. Across town, Sinclair Enterprises' headquarters buzzed with discreet but purposeful activity. Investigators coordinated by Carter Donovan arrived simultaneously, confronting Vincent Lockhart as he prepared to finalize his deceptive plans. Unprepared for this sudden intrusion, Vincent's carefully maintained confidence rapidly dissolved into visible panic as the scope and severity of evidence mounted against him became clear. Dominic's residence was also a scene of unexpected disruption. Olivia Harrington, interrupted by an early morning knock at the door, found herself confronted by federal agents bearing extensive documentation of her involvement in fraudulent financial activities and forgery. Olivia's facade of composed superiority quickly crumbled, leaving behind a stark picture of fear and confusion as the reality of her situation dawned. Amelia and Liam Harrington faced their own reckoning at Sinclair Enterprises. Arriving under the illusion of continuing their clandestine activities, the twins were swiftly detained by federal agents. Confronted with irrefutable evidence of their complicity, their cultivated arrogance gave way to genuine distress and disbelief. They quickly discovered that their carefully crafted web of deceit had left them vulnerable, utterly unprepared for real-world consequences. The media swiftly picked up the story, fueled by carefully timed disclosures from Dominic's team. Vincent Lockhart's pattern of corporate sabotage and manipulation became a public scandal, illuminating a trail of destroyed families and financial ruin. Headlines splashed across national media outlets, irrevocably tarnishing Vincent's reputation and exposing Olivia and the twins as willing participants in his elaborate schemes. Dominic Sinclair maintained a measured composure throughout these unfolding events, projecting an image of controlled confidence and unwavering determination. Publicly, he addressed the media with dignity, emphasizing the necessity of accountability and integrity within both family and business contexts. Privately, Dominic ensured that each step in the unfolding legal processes proceeded methodically, leaving no opportunity for loopholes or escape. Evelyn Park, demonstrating steadfast leadership, assumed interim executive responsibilities at Sinclair Enterprises. Her guidance proved instrumental in stabilizing investor confidence and reassuring stakeholders of the company's resilience. The decisive actions Dominic had taken safeguarded the enterprise, allowing it to navigate the crisis with minimal long-term damage. Dominic observed each development with quiet satisfaction, not from vindictiveness, but from a profound sense of justice restored. Every action taken had been deliberate, measured, and aimed precisely at dismantling the network of deceit crafted by those he had once trusted implicitly. The fallout was swift and complete, leaving no question regarding Dominic's commitment to truth and integrity. Throughout the process, Dominic's demeanor remained dignified and professional. He refused to be drawn into sensationalist narratives, emphasizing instead the critical importance of ethical responsibility in both personal and professional relationships. His message resonated deeply, setting a standard that would become a benchmark for corporate ethics and family enterprise integrity. In the aftermath, Dominic Sinclair's resolve had not only reclaimed his reputation but had reinforced the foundational principles upon which he had built his life and legacy. As the scandal unfolded publicly, Dominic quietly began planning a broader initiative, envisioning a future where his experiences could educate and protect others. This proactive approach to addressing and preventing similar betrayals reflected Dominic's unwavering commitment to ethical leadership and genuine legacy building. In the months and years following the revelation of the Sinclair scandal, Dominic Sinclair redirected his energy toward constructive and meaningful endeavors. He stepped back from daily operations at Sinclair Enterprises, entrusting the company's future to Evelyn Park, whose steadfast leadership had guided the company through its darkest days and into a new era of prosperity and integrity. Dominic established the Sinclair Foundation, a groundbreaking initiative designed to support individuals and businesses victimized by similar betrayals. The foundation rapidly gained national recognition, becoming a beacon of hope and resource for countless families and enterprises affected by corporate deception. Dominic's first-hand experiences offered him unique insights, allowing the foundation to develop comprehensive programs emphasizing prevention, education, rehabilitation, and restitution. Former victims of Vincent Lockhart's destructive schemes found empowerment through the Sinclair Foundation. Their stories, once suppressed by shame and fear, were now powerful testimonies advocating transparency and integrity in business practices. Dominic made it his mission to ensure these narratives were heard, transforming their painful experiences into catalysts for widespread reform within corporate America. The foundation's impact was profound and far-reaching. Its programs, workshops, and seminars educated corporate leaders and aspiring entrepreneurs on recognizing early signs of internal fraud, advocating for ethical governance, and fostering a corporate culture grounded in trust and accountability. Universities and business schools incorporated the Sinclair scandal into their curricula, turning Dominic's experiences into vital lessons that shaped future generations of business leaders. Vincent Lockhart, convicted on multiple counts of fraud and conspiracy, faced severe legal repercussions. His downfall served as a stark warning, significantly reshaping the legal and ethical landscape of corporate governance. Vincent's attempts to regain influence or mitigate his circumstances were systematically thwarted by the comprehensive evidence Dominic's team had meticulously compiled. He remained incarcerated, a stark reminder of the consequences awaiting those who breached ethical standards. Olivia Harrington, stripped of her former social status and financial security, retreated into obscurity. Her attempts to regain influence through smaller-scale business ventures repeatedly failed, hindered by her notorious past. The twins, Amelia and Liam, confronted the harsh realities of their actions, burdened by reputations irreparably damaged by their involvement in the scandal. Despite opportunities provided by the Sinclair Foundation for rehabilitation and reconciliation, their reluctance to fully acknowledge and rectify their mistakes left them adrift in professional and personal limbo. Dominic Sinclair never remarried, dedicating himself entirely to his newfound purpose. He transformed his personal tragedy into a legacy of positive change, becoming a respected advocate for corporate integrity and ethical leadership worldwide. His public appearances were rare but impactful, each carefully chosen opportunity further cementing his reputation as a man who had faced betrayal with unwavering dignity and emerged stronger, wiser, and more committed to justice. Evelyn Park's exemplary leadership at Sinclair Enterprises continued to thrive, solidifying the company's reputation for ethical excellence and innovation. Her dedication to transparency and accountability set new industry benchmarks, inspiring other corporations to follow suit. Dominic's confidence in her proved justified as Sinclair Enterprises experienced unprecedented growth and stability under her guidance. The Sinclair Foundation's annual gala, hosted in the same ballroom where Dominic's ordeal began, became a symbolic event celebrating resilience and ethical triumphs. Dominic used these occasions to reinforce the importance of integrity, trust, and accountability in business and family life. Each gala drew influential leaders from various sectors, eager to demonstrate their commitment to the foundation's ideals and support Dominic's transformative vision. As Dominic Sinclair surveyed the expansive cityscape from his foundation's headquarters, he felt profound satisfaction in the path he had chosen. His legacy was no longer defined by wealth or power, but by lasting societal contributions born from his darkest moments. Dominic had transcended personal betrayal to build a community united by trust, integrity, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. His life's work underscored a simple yet powerful truth. Genuine legacy lies not in the bloodline, but in the principles one upholds and the positive impact one leaves behind.